Good day, viewers. So once again, welcome to my YouTube channel. As usual, we bring you the very best here. The internet is on fire currently. Questions have been asked. What kind of a man is Nnamdi Kanu? A lot of people thought he has given up, even in the prison, even with all the fight, even with all the humiliation, the injustice that is being treated and given to this man. This man sent a message to Mike Arnold, thanking him for how he's been a truthful person regarding him and his people. A lot of questions have come out. What kind of a person is Nnamdi Kanu? Even in the prison, he's still concerned about his people and fighting for Biafra. What would you have to say about this, Biafran evangelist? Coming out.
My beloved brother, let us be sincere to ourselves. I remember my humble self. May God bless our esteemed viewers, my lovers, and our lovers, our viewers, our watchers, and those that are commenting for your encouragement. And as you share it, may the Lord bless you. You are talking about the kind of person of Nnamdi Kanu. When you made mention of Nnamdi Kanu, you are talking about a person like Moses. What kind of Moses is this? And when you are talking about the kind of Moses, you talk about another Messiah in person. That is God in person. Because God cannot bring Messiah without using a person. And God, before God will use a person, the person must make himself available. And God must use that person in the spirit before manifesting in the physical. That is the kind of person Nnamdi Kanu is. And that is the categories of Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu only does not belong to the categories of this, present ethnic dispensation of human beings. You understand me? He comes from another planet, from another dispensation, with another mindset of freedom. Many have gone and they couldn't get where it is today. And look at him. That is why I told you that Biafra issue is no longer an issue of humanity. It has become a spiritual thing. On a faith. When you think that you are stopping it here, it will move to the other side. It will trigger to the other side. Are you hearing me? That is the person of Nnamdi Kanu. And that is the spirit behind Nnamdi Kanu and the agitation. Yes, he is thanking and appreciating Mark Arnold today because the spirit have left the remorse. Because the remorse has, the remorse has saw his hand by collaborating with the criminals, with the evil. Because as a saint, as a child of God, you are not meant to do what? To engage yourself or to stain your clothes with what? With immorality. Immorality is not in the area alone of sex. No, there are some character and there are some behaviors, there are some things that you engage yourself, involve yourself, or even bribe. It's immorality, it's a sin before God. So, and when you are saying you are standing in on the ground of faith, I want people to understand what it means to stand on the ground of faith, but to remove as derail from that ground of faith, based on the purpose of which it tends to fulfill. The purpose. Are you hearing me? Based on the vision and the mission and the assignment God signed for everyone here on this planet Earth. As he has moved and derailed, God decided to pick somebody like Mark Arnold, the emperor of the empire, the mayor, the general of himself on his own. Are you hearing me? That is why Nnamdi Kanu congratulated him, because the Nigerian government have allegedly bribed with the Biafran oil to the remorse. He decided to change his mouth. Then God now picked another person. Arnold, Terry Cruz, Frank Uto, Kim Balintania from Florida. You see, you will agree with me. The thing is moving now. That is why Nnamdi Kanu has to appreciate it, because it's not easy. Somebody or people that can stand just like him without collecting bribe. Without that the bribe did not come to their table. Very huge one. Just the same way it came before Nnamdi Kanu here in Nigeria, even in that Sokoto prison, yet he turned it down. Because of what? The freedom. He wants the peace and the freedom of his people. He cannot betrayed them by collecting money and become rich under slavery. A slave rich man. He decided to stand on his ground to achieve this purpose, this dream. And that was what Michael Arnold now picked. Likewise, every other person which I have mentioned now decided, no, this thing is illegal. It's a sin if we should compare. The Bible says in the book of Genesis that Joseph said, it is a sin before my God and my master to betray my master by sleeping with my master's wife. So it is a slap and a betrayal and a sin before God Almighty and before the Biafran people to betray them. And the humanity per se in faith, Christendom. It's a shameful thing. So which McArnold decided not to partake, not participate. I'm not talking, forget about Nigerian Pope and Bishop whatsoever that are collect money to deny the genocide in Nigeria. Are you hearing me? The bishops and co. I don't know, you know them. Are you hearing? But these men decided not to. Just like what happened in the days of Daniel. They decided not to eat at the table of the king. Rather, they prefer to eat only but vegetables. A good name, they say, is better than riches. That is the word of God. So, what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu did was what I expected. I expected it. And I am happy that he did it. By doing what? By appreciating McArnold, thanking him, appreciating his effort and his, effortless contribution for the freedom of indigenous people of Biafra. They have to.
A secret meeting was held in Sokoto, according to the people that leaked it out, saying that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was still visited in the prison. They made him an offer, abandon Biafra and be set free. That it was going to be a closed-door meeting. And that same meeting, in that same place, he rejected the offer and still stood with the Biafran. This is just coming out secretly. What's your take on this?
It shows me a man, when you mention Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, you mention integrity. When you mention Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, you mention dignity. When you mention Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, you mention principle, discipline. That is person of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. It is not by words, it's by a person. And that is the person of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And he has proven it to me. That is whom he is. When you mention somebody trustworthy, you mention Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Hope and reliable, is mention Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Someone that cannot betray his people. Somebody that cannot chop the eyes of his people. Somebody that cannot, because of the earthly things, the worldliness of this world, and carry his children and sink them in the ocean. That is the person of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. He saw money. He chose to be poor. He saw death. He chose life over death. He chose death over life. Life and death is before him. He chose death over life for the sake of his people. He chose love instead of hate. Even when he was not well treated or appreciated by the people he chose to die for, yet he stand on his ground because of his faith and promise. At least people like me, because of people like me who believe in his calling, that he will not betray me. Likewise, most people that are watching, our viewers that believe in this faith, in this struggle, he doesn't want to betray me and you. That is why he stood on his ground, because he loves us.
A subscriber of mine made a comment. I would like you to throw a shade on that. He said, who is Sultan of Sokoto and why does he feel he has so much power to intervene in the affairs of Nigeria?
Yes, Sultan of Sokoto is the Fulani Caliphate. Is the gods of the Fulanis. Is the idol of the Fulanis. Are you hearing me? In Nigeria, is the one now representing that Usman Fodio of the Fulanis in Nigeria. And is the one representing the people that the British handed over the power to. Is the one representing them. and that is why he is sounding the way he sounded. But he forgot to know that he's only representing the Fulanis, he's not representing the Biafra. And we are more wiser, more ethnically eluded than him. He's a total stranger. His ancestors migrated from, he's a stranger, they are all strangers to this land. So if Sultan of Sokoto is to do anything or say anything, he is limited only in the north, not in the Biafra east, because we existed before any generation. Biafra is like you have mentioned a name that nobody intends to hear. You have mentioned devil. They see Biafra name as what? As a demonic, as a result of how Nigeria and the British painted it before the world. But glory be to God, you can see today that the Plateaus, the Benue, the Hausas now are now confessing that they made a very huge mistake by joining to kill the Biafrans before. That what Ojukwu saw how many years ago is what they are now realizing today. What Nnamdi Kanu saw is what is telling on them today. And because Nigeria is not telling themselves truth, it's a darkness and it's a dark country. And let me tell you, any place that is full of darkness doesn't receive progress. You see why Nigeria remains set back and they remain at the back, while other nations, other countries are moving forward. If I tell you today, both economically, both military, both development and everything, Nigeria cannot match Burkina Faso again. Nigeria cannot match. When did the South Africa get their independence? 1991-94. Calculate it till now. How old? They are not up to even 50 years. But what is happening? Can you compare South Africa with Nigeria in all application? No. And Nigeria is still claiming the giant of Africa in a bunch of lies, in the bunch of evil. Today, Nigeria is collapsing, UK is collapsing because they are birds of the same feather that never stand up on the truth. And there is another thing. You can only try to bury truth, but you cannot bury truth. You can only try to bury it, but you cannot bury it. What am I saying? That truth that Ojukwu saw, Gowon is confessing it today that their body accord have no problem. But the problem he had was the problem of the oil, the resources in the southeast. That was what prompted that Biafran war. The killing, the genocide that took place, over 5 million Biafrans, Igbos, were unalived in 1967 down to 1970. Beside the one that the late Muhammadu Buhari committed in 1970 in Delta, to be precise, when he called over 70,000 people. A whole village was ransacked in the name of coming to home meeting for unity. Late General Muhammadu Buhari, key after that, wiped all of them because they came out to embrace that peace. They wiped all of them in Delta in 1970. And all these things happened. British did not say anything. Nigeria covered it up to this very date. People are celebrating, including the West, the Yorubas. If you talk about Biafra now, you see most Yorubas, only few of them that understand that. And only few of them are speaking the truth, standing on that truth. But the rest, majority of them, because they did not know. And the Nigerian now painted it in other color, not the original form of the colors. So they now grow up with that hatred. When they hear Biafra, it becomes a poison in their brain. Why? That is how Nigeria have painted and the UK painted Biafra before the people. But glory be to God that today we are talking about Biafra. That today we are talking about Biafra in UK, talking about Biafra in Russia, talking about Biafra in United States of America. Even the congressmen today have taken it up to themselves, and it has become a discussion of the Congress in their own parliament. then go to Israel. It has become a normal, official, and a concluded issue, waiting for the date of actualization. And in Nigeria now, it has become a particular concern to Nigerian government. And now, it has become a general discussion on the streets of those enemies that hated the Biafran, the Igbos. You can see it today. The Benuans now are crying for forgiveness, saying it openly, clearly, that they want, you understand, that they belong to Igbo people, that they belong to Igbo people, they want Igbo people, and they want to embrace Igbo people. I'm talking about Benuans. I'm talking about Platuna. You can see their women going on naked, even saying Nigerian military should do what? To go, because they were brainwashed. Look at the Hausas today. They are telling Nigeria, which are the Fulanis, to do what? To give them space. They are welcoming Igbos now. Ogini na-emezi. Eziokwu apụtawaghị ihe. And eziokwu na-apụtazi ihe bụ ihe na-egosizi ihe anyị bụ. N'ihi na mba ofesi ebe anyị nọ, ndị nke anyị nọ, gịnị na-eme? Ebe ọ bụla ijere fụ onye Igbo, ọ na-eme ihe, mesi ihe ike. O nwere ihe ọ na-eme, o ji enweta ego, o ji eriju afọ. Ọ na-ewerekwa ego ahụ nke ahụ ọ kpatara n'obodo ahụ o nwetara onwe ya, ọ fụrụ onwe ya, ọ nọ na-akpata ego ahụ, na-etinyekwe ka obodo ahụ na-aga n'ihu. Ihe mere obodo ji aga n'ihu, na-emepe emepe. Ọ ihe mere ha ji lechaa anya bịa tinyewezi uche n'ihe a na-ekwu, matazie of a truth that these people, anyị abụrụ ihe ha sị na anyị bụ, na anyị dị iche. Now, Harrison have exposed Nigerian military. They went to collect rifle from kidnappers, Fulanis, their brothers, the people that they sent, because they are the one now. No, Nigeria doesn't have military again. The military we have now is Boko Haram, because they have killed all Nigerian military. Imagine a situation where Mba was, calling at this stage. Imagine a whole general calling at the stage whereby military is supposed to reinforce for his rescue. What happened? Because he's an Igbo man. Sidia Musa did not take any step until that man was killed.